So, as far as the practice of devotional service goes, one of the most beneficial ways that we develop spiritual strength is through the process of hearing and chanting. And there's a very particular way that we can do that every day that gives us a special infusion of spiritual energy. The book Bhagavad Gita is revered by all acharyas. It's been commentated upon by them and has been protected by them over millennia. And so, when we chant one chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we come directly in contact with Krishna and his intelligence. Prabhupada writes in a purport in the Srimad Bhagavatam that the Bhagavad Gita is the Vedic intelligence. What's more, in the Bhagavad Gita itself, Krishna says that one who studies this dialogue worships me by his intelligence. And who doesn't need a little spiritual intelligence? What do you think? Okay, 3-4 people. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes to Arjuna why he becomes overcome by, why one who's conditioned by the modes of material nature might be overcome by lust. That's something that Arjuna specifically asks about. And Krishna describes how lust is the eternal energy, enemy of the soul, and it comes in the form of Rajogun, and it overwhelms the soul. Then he describes the hierarchy that we're part of, and he says that the lowest of all are the senses, above the senses is the mind, above the mind is the intelligence, and above the intelligence is it's a pop quiz to see if you're listening. You sure? Is that your final answer? All right. So, and above the Atma, for 500 points, with confidence? Paramatma, yeah, okay. So, he says in the final verse of that chapter, Evam buddhi param buddva samstabhyatmanamatmana jatisha mahabaho kama rupam durasadam. That's develop your intelligence. And by spiritual intelligence, you'll be able to overcome the urges of the senses. They won't be making the decisions for you. So, all this is to say, the practice of chanting one chapter of Bhagavad Gita a day is recommended by Srila Prabhupada and is a way that one can develop spiritual strength. So, what do you think? Well, how serious are you about it? Do you want to make a commitment that for the rest of the year you would do at least one chapter a day? Yes. How many days are left in this year? How many? A lot? It's almost over. We're already planning for the next Yatra. People are calling and say, can we do it next year? How many days? 355 only. All right, so 355 days left. I recommend an app. It's called Streaks. You can set it up, and it allows you to set up 6 streaks you want to follow. And all you have to do is do enact the process that you're promising, and then push the button, and then keep the streak going. I got it recently because we did this exercise when we were with the other group, and then I got really inspired because when we went to see the TLVP, the thing I found the most inspiring was the safety boards there. There are construction crews there, and they have these safety boards that say how many days in a row they haven't had an accident. And I thought, how appropriate. That should be for my life. How many days in a row can I go and remember Krishna? So maybe we could do that with the Bhagavad Gita. So it just so happens in this book we have 2 chapters of the Gita. One of them is chapter 15, the other one's 16. And while we're together, we could make a commitment to get started on our 355 days to chant one chapter of Bhagavad Gita a day. And which one would you like to choose? Because Karuna Prabhu constantly reminds me we're in a democracy. We have to vote on things. Would you like to vote? Okay, Nanda Devi, what are you voting for? 15, okay. How does this work? Is that a quorum, if Nanda says? Nanda voted. Okay, I second Nanda Devi's choice of 15. Does anybody, you want to vote on it now? Is that Robert's rules? You second it? Okay, so now what do you say? We call the question? All in favor of chapter